Hello everybody. Today's video is going to be a viewer response, and it's going to be a comment made by one of my viewers. His name is Robert. He asked me not to use his last name, so I'm answering Robert's comment. So he writes, I'm fighting a losing battle for several years now, attempting to recover from total devastation, after two different sociopaths convinced everyone that I was the problem. I am hated now. And then later I asked him if I could address this concern, and then he wrote, suffering workplace mobbing 2 years after a breakup with Narc X. I have one new friend who lives in the next state, but I am having fears that he too is a covert narc. I don't know for sure. Okay, and this response was on the video about why former victims of sociopathy are re-victimized. Now, I want to begin by saying that I have my deepest sympathies go out for you, to you. I'm sorry that you're going through this ordeal. It's an ordeal that many of us go through, and I've personally gone through it. When you have post-traumatic stress disorder, you are in a very vulnerable state, and narcissists prey on that. They sense your anxiety. They have almost like an antenna for that anxiety, and because they are cowards, they will prey on the most vulnerable segments of society in order to feel empowered, and nobody seems to care. This is the biggest problem. Nobody seems to be concerned about this abuse, about the bullying that you're subjected to. I want to start by saying that even though it may seem that you are in a weak spot right now, you're actually ahead of the curve. And the reason why I believe you're ahead of the curve is that you have woken up to the reality of sociopathy. Not everybody knows, and many people live their life brainwashed and trauma bonded to sociopaths without knowing it, and they die that way. And I know several people that are likely going to die that way, that I personally know, that are linked to my narcissist or the narcissists that I knew. So the fact that you recognize these people is already the first step towards building an autonomous life that is free from pathological influences. Okay, it's just that you do not have the confidence within yourself yet to forge ahead and to create that life for yourself. And I want to tie your comment into the concept of the smear campaign. When the narcissist discards their victim, they will often go into a smear campaign against them. This is sort of a rallying cry to the people that support him. It makes him or her feel as though people support him despite what he does, and that makes them empowered. So they will rally their harem, the people that they have hoodwinked, the people that they have brainwashed, the people that are underneath their spell. And there was a time when I, like you, felt incredibly hurt by the reality that people were brainwashed by the narcissist, that I couldn't do anything about it, that no matter how I screamed and cried and came to these people and supplicated myself before them and begged them to reevaluate their relationship to this narcissist, they would not listen to me. But 2 years after I cut all contact with the narcissist, from where I'm standing now, I feel that it is not my responsibility to warn people about who they attach themselves to. And I know that that is very hard from where you're sitting to internalize, but you are not the father to these people. You are not God Almighty. And you can warn them once, you could warn them twice, but to exert yourself day in and day out worrying about these people and how they're going to be screwed over by this narcissist, or how they're being screwed over by this narcissist, or how they're on the wrong path in life, is too much for you as one human being to shoulder. And that's your problem, is that you're used to shouldering other people's sicknesses, just like you shouldered the narcissist's sickness. And you can't hold yourself responsible for another person's mental illness. And the minute that you start understanding that, and understanding that it's not your responsibility to caretake these people who are probably going to backstab you, who are probably going to screw you over in the process, then you become more self-aware. You're better able to set boundaries. You're better able to say no to abusive people, because the narcissist's flying monkeys and the narcissist's brainwashed harem